landed on a rock in the sky.
All right. 3, 2, 1,
Gets up,
go.
sets off for the Bastion.
So this is Bastion.
Agreed to go in case
It's a pretty cool game. I played this before at Awesome Games Done Quick in January, but I played a very different category. So the main categories in this game are differentiated by New Game versus New Game Plus, obviously. And also there's a glitch called core duplication. So in this game, kind of the main object is to collect the cores and shards and place them into the Bastion. And it turns out that if you do the right thing, you can actually get 2 cores or 2 shards at once. And that basically cuts the length of the run in about by a factor of 3. But we're not going to do that in this run. This category is called All Story Levels. And so we're going to do basically what the game requires you to do normally if you do a run, which is every level other than the Proving Grounds in order to finish the game.
Don't worry though, there's still plenty of interesting stuff. He doesn't actually have to do everything.
The calamity got him forced drinking.
So a lot of this game is just kind of doing things in the optimal order in order to advance sections like this more quickly. This section, for example, is based on killing enemies. In particular, I need to break all these boxes and kill a whole bunch of squirts, and then I can leave. But one thing that I did when entering is immediately I shot the bartender, well, his corpse, because, wow, that sounds really bad, huh? Look, he was already dead, it's fine.
It saves time.
It saves time because it spawns the shield more quickly, and that allows me to advance more quickly. Another thing that allows me to advance more quickly that you're going to see very, very shortly is the fact that I'm using mouse movement.
He gets a good look at things on his way.
Mouse movement in this game is basically click to move, like Diablo style.
On top of a breaker's
but there's also the roll, which you control using the keyboard. And it turns out that when you roll while holding down the mouse button to do mouse movement, your move speed is increased by about 30% because magic. So we're going to take advantage of that throughout this entire run. Also, right now there's not a whole lot going on, so I'd love if my couch felt like introducing themselves one by one.
Got a what?
Roll call?
Yeah.
I'm Feral Pigman.
I'm Shadow Draft.
Annihilator.
I'm LK47. I'm here for moral support mostly. And on that note, Vulajin, you should just give up now. You're terrible. Oh wait, no, that's wrong.
I've been told that before.
That is not how you do it. Let me think. Yeah, you're awesome. This is going to be the best run ever. No pressure. I think that's right. Right?
So several of these guys on the couch you should have seen already in this marathon doing various runs. Of course, Annihilator, you literally just saw. Feral Pigman is not doing a run in this marathon, but he's certainly qualified. Oh, by the way, gates in this game are optional. More on that later. But Feral Pigman is a Bastion speedrunner as well. And he picked this game up, I think, a couple months ago. And up until literally Saturday, I think, I would have described him snarkily by saying he's almost as good as me in one category as I am in all 4 Bastion categories. But now that's not true, because he actually took 2 of my world records this past weekend. So there's a whole lot of really good Bastion speedrunners. Unfortunately, the vast majority of them are not here at this marathon. But Feral is here to give me the support I need from the Bastion community.
I'll try to do my best to provide the snark and the shots fired.
So this level that we're about to enter is Workman Ward. This is my favorite level because it's really, really short. You're also going to see here for the first time the ground forming up, which is a major gimmick in this game, and it's also a major hindrance in this run. Because the fact that we're going 30% faster than the game really expects us to go means that we're not really going to be going at the speed the ground is, like, the ground expects us to go. So frequently it is possible to just roll over the edge of the ground and fall into the abyss because you're just going faster than it wants. Every time you fall, like, it's not a death if you fall or anything like that, it just costs you about 2.5 seconds as you watch yourself fall back onto the ground. Right here, I'm getting a spirit called Where Whiskey. which
It's
is really,
important.
really
Not
useful,
for everyone.
but not in this level. This level is Melting Pot, and this is my favorite level because it's a 3-minute auto-scroller. Basically, there's a very few things in this level that I can kill quickly in order to advance the level, but otherwise, it's a fixed length from start to finish. So, donations.
Fancy cages. Now what could possibly go wrong?
Alright, I have a $35 donation from Thrice. It says, good luck on the run, Vulajin. Show us the ram skip, Kappa. Also, this is my first time donating at a GDQ. I chose to donate now because it is great to see what the speedrunning community can do for a good cause. Keep up the good work.
Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while.
So the only really interesting thing of note here is I'm specifically waiting until these boxes open up before I kill the gas fellas,
Don't take
because I want to level up right there in order for my level up explosion to blow up that scumbag that was in the middle. So that is one of the two things that you can do in this level to actually save time. The second thing you can do is here, a whole bunch of enemies are going to spawn, and some number of them need to be killed as fast as you can. Don't ask me how many, I've never been able to figure it out.
Did that gas bag just like walk off?
Yeah, they
do
do
that
that
sometimes.
sometimes.
territorial.
Look, life is hard as a scumbag. Like, nobody really appreciates you.
Let a ship in a free set.
Oh, also, I'm letting this big gas fella that is sort of supposed to be my friend get killed because I'm a bad friend. And he's gonna make it hard for me to do a skip at the end of this level that I kind of want to do.
I'm sure that cage is
And yeah,
off
nothing here for the rest of the level speeds anything up. So yeah, feel free to plug anything or whatever.
It's a troublesome scene to be sure.
Best thing about all skip levels is listening to the soundtrack.
You actually got to listen to it. Any percent, you barely listen to any of it.
A few moments left, and the core goes free. 10, 9,
Alright, so those big blue guys
7.
will actually knock me off the level. That is to say, they'll knock me up into the air.
Core's within reach.
Not-
And done. He's got it.
And I would like this one to knock me up so that I can get onto the barge quickly. Sadly, it didn't quite work out. It's really finicky and kind of a dumb trick, but whatever. I just realized what I just said.
I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished.
Don't worry about it.
The new world's just getting started.
So there's some minor things about the order that we build buildings here in the Bastion that sort of matter in this category. Only in a couple of spots. Like right at the beginning, the first building I built was the arsenal, and the second building I built was the distillery. And that was specific because I wanted to get access to the whiskey, and also building the distillery at that point allowed me to do a fast strat getting to the Skyway that I'll talk a little bit more about later.
Exactly open the visitors.
Here we have to kill this dude to open this gate.
See the path.
I guess I did say gates are optional, but not that one. It's
It's
a serious game.
Path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. The Calamity changed.
So the Sundown Path is my favorite level because it's one of the few levels
Well,
where
faster the winds in the old days.
you can just roll as fast as you want and the ground will actually cooperate with you.
Scumbag hated by
You just have to kill that guy to get through that gate, which is also not optional. But it's okay. Here's this gate, it's optional.
So should I from time to time.
So I just picked up a skill called hand grenades, and this is going to be super, super useful throughout this run. Hand grenades deal a ton of damage, and in fact more than any other weapon I'm going to acquire. And And although you only get 3 of them at a time, unless you pick up more black tonics, 3 turns out to be more than enough the vast majority of the time.
That time.
If they cooperate with you.
Yes, that's true. So to throw a hand grenade, you have to kind of lock onto your target and throw it. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of fly in this huge arc and pretty much never hit anything. But if you lock on, it'll take a low arc and almost always hit things.
The calamity took everybody after all.
So the Hanging Gardens is my favorite level because the ground is basically not.
These folks never saw the calamity coming.
So you have to really measure out when you do rolls in order to not fall, like I did at the beginning there. And then I just kind of went off screen and threw a grenade at a turret. No big deal.
No matter what. He's got so many questions after all. The Thunder brothers didn't make it.
Also, sometimes ground is optional.
But him, he survived.
Knowing when to roll is really the hardest part of speedrunning this game.
Man,
The tricks are
be here right now.
tricky,
Would we?
but I know, I'm very eloquent. But it's so easy to outroll the ground.
Please.
Yeah, a large part of the optimization of this game is just planning where you're going to do rolls. And
He's a proper gentleman, that man.
there's sort of RNG in terms of the way the ground forms up, but
no hiding.
it's not unmanageable RNG. Like if you just plan to roll in certain locations, you can read the ground, and usually a particular pattern of rolls will just always kind of work.
Ourselves and kind
So I have kind of a script that I follow in terms of where and when I roll,
to each other.
but sometimes I just get screwed anyway. So now I was talking about building order, and right now it actually doesn't matter what building I build because I'm going to
Well, look
get
what we have here.
either way. So at the Skyway, Rux is talking, blah blah blah. We tracked down a couple more cores near the edge of the city. If you noticed, I couldn't actually go to the next level until he finished saying that. And so one thing that we try to do at all points of the run is anytime we go to the Skyway, we want Rux to already be talking. And if he is, that means he can't start talking again. It turns out if he's already talking, that doesn't prevent you from traveling to the next level.
The calamity was mercy for normal folks. Well,
You should
windbags,
stop following.
young and old, keep
Just saying.
something that windbags.
So here we're picking up a weapon upgrade. This is the Scrap Musket.
Something that'll punch.
This weapon is going to enable us to break a lot of random environmental obstacles.
All they want's a warm place to stay and a decent.
And we're going to make heavy use of it in several levels. We're going to start in the next level, which is Pith Orchard.
Presses on.
But it's also going to be really useful later in the run. Also, this section is probably the worst in terms of forming up quickly enough for you to go. And of course, that happens at the end every single time.
That last bridge is really annoying because even if the ground's there, it's not actually there a lot of times. Of course. So if you go too fast and you're like, oh no, I'm on the ground, you'll just fall. I mean, that's what Vulajin did. He was on the ground and he wasn't actually on the ground.
Also, that
That
arena
was a
at
nice
the end of
quick
that
gate
level.
clip there.
Kid
that
shows
he
up
did.
just as Zulf's telling me about his own
Oh,
journey to
we're gonna
the
do a
city.
glitch, by the way.
Seems the only thing the calamity saved for Zulf.
I could try to explain exactly what's going on
Travels ain't
there,
much compared to what the kids had to go
but
through.
let's just say that the pipe is magical and leave it at that. So yeah, also at the end of Cinderbrick Fort, there's like a huge arena where you're supposed to fight all
No
sorts
use
of
praying
things.
to the gods.
And it takes like a minute and a half, like just waiting for things to spawn, even if you kill them quickly.
Folks used to make
So
pilgrimage.
we opted for the fighting is optional route, and we just
Well,
clipped through the
gods
gate
are long
because
gone now.
I think I said it already. The gates are optional.
It's long gone too. In time, though, the bull stopped being a symbol and started being decoration. Pith makes a decent scarecrow at least. Then
So
Pith
there you're already
climbs up
seeing that grenades are really, really
So
useful.
what'll it be?
All it took was 2 grenades and a couple musket shots and hammer hits, and that thing just died. It has a lot of HP, so getting rid of it that quickly is really
If the
nice.
gods are alive, they must
Also, of course, the musket showing its
Kid ain't
usefulness
found the
there
core, but
on
at
those
least he
stab
found
weeds.
Zulf's precious. Now we can build a shrine of our
And
own.
now, we're heading to my favorite level,
Alternatives
Langston River.
mine.
You're gonna see very quickly why Langston River is my favorite level, but just to to not belabor the point, this is an auto-scroller. It's about 3 minutes. There's not a lot to talk about, so again, feel free to like donations or plug anything.
Maybe all that water just grew
Whatever.
wings.
All right.
Riverbank swarming.
I've got a $100 donation from Tom7 that says, "Been waiting for this run. Go Vulajin." I have a $50 donation from Daniel Raza. It says, "It's really cool watching one of my coworkers destroy one of my favorite games at SGDQ. Good luck on the run, Vulajin."
The security skiff pulls up port side. Nelly's just another windbag to those guns.
I have a $25 donation from Colt. It says, "Vulajin, the run is already hype and I can't wait to see more. Let's hope CC Skip doesn't mean Calamity Cannon. I was gonna bid to shave the Zulfa malls, but now it's going to runner's choice."
I hate boxes.
They try to cut her off.
The IL time is irrelevant,
They try to
I would
knock
say.
her out.
But there's actually a reason that he's taking damage here, and that is the Wear Whiskey. Basically, when you are low on health, Wear Whiskey kicks in and you deal significantly more damage. And it helps against certain enemies and in certain fights.
Also, I'm not going to be able to get that here because I'm going to pick up the core momentarily, and that's going to heal me to full. But I am going to get it on the second half of the barge ride, which is going to come up right after this.
Core's right there.
Also, this stab weed is probably going to knock... Oh, wow, it didn't.
Like 100 flat.
That's pretty nice.
They have
Literally every one of my practice runs I got knocked off by that stab weed.
finds weeping Nelly raring to go.
So I'm actually going to do combat the rest of the way. The reason I just fell and didn't fight anything was not just to be funny, although it is funny. But also,
Us only wish we
I
could
want to
fly.
minimize the amount of XP I get in this level until at the end here. Because I'm gonna want my level up. Remember, in Melting Pot, I wanted to level up at a particular time so that my explosion killed a bunch of stuff. It's the same thing here, except I'm not gonna level up in this level. I'm gonna level up a couple levels later. But I want to set that up by not getting too much XP.
Starboard side.
Also, as Alec mentioned, I am gonna try to get Wear Whiskey here. The easiest way to get Wear Whiskey is to drink a bunch of my potions so that I can't, like, accidentally pick up a potion and drink it. And then just fall a whole bunch of times. First I'll kill him.
The windbag's getting even better out here. They aim to smash weeping Nelly to splinters.
To note, because he's putting himself at low health to get Wear Whiskey, that means he's in danger of dying a lot in this run.
Yeah, I guess I kind of skimmed over Wear Whiskey earlier, but Wear Whiskey is a spirit that gives you 100% chance to crit
Make one last.
if you are below 33% health, which obviously is really, really risky in a lot of
last
ways.
breath. Nelly gets the
But fortunately, I always have one chance to carry on
solid
if I die.
Heck country. They
So
won't back
I'm gonna
you
make
up
use of
real
that.
bad.
Not for
Or
you, those of you.
hopefully I won't make use of it, but if I do die, then, you know,
Keep
whatever.
shoes them on.
Yeah, it's a mechanic in this game where you can carry on
Know how many
each time
times Kid
through
Nelly
the
fell
level
off the bar
if you
back
die,
there?
but only once.
About 6 times. Now, listen close.
6, that's not that
You
many.
sure?
Usually I fall over more than 10 in order to get Wear Whiskey.
Why go?
So Prosper Bluff is my favorite level because it's really, really
Used to take
well,
an enterprising man.
It's very well designed.
broken.
Venture out that far.
Can we
Just
just
kind of consider walls and obstacles and such
They'll give
optional
you something
here.
he ain't heard in a long
can we just please agree that Bastion is your favorite level?
Why you go to Prosper Bluff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just a collection of bigger levels.
Look, you guys are too, you're too limited in your views.
The favorite level is the one he's doing at the time because he just loves this game so much.
So a couple of these gates we do actually have to open, but a whole bunch of them we can skip. For example, the gate coming up, we can skip with a ridiculously precise roll sequence that I really hate and just got in like 2 tries. So that's
Nice.
pretty nice.
Nicely done.
But that is just stupidly precise. It's awful.
Well, no point explaining what happens next. right? Suffice it to say,
Also, we're gonna fall for Zia.
empty-handed. And besides, it's like the song goes.
Shout out to
They'll
Cole.
be here before too long.
Shout out to the lawyer dog for that matter. I think that's his strat. Falling there saves like a second or something instead of walking all the way
Darn
over.
near celebrated
Fall.
when the kick out back, didn't we?
Very slow.
Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow her again. We've become fast friends. Calamity has that effect.
We're almost done with the core collecting section of the game, which is barely half of the speed run.
There was one left.
Right after that, we're gonna go into the shard collecting
Kid's
section of the game.
surprised when I tell him there's only
And
one core.
then we're gonna get to some real fun levels. Everything up until now has been
Track the
fairly
final
tame,
core beyond the
but
city.
some of the levels after here are feature a lot of combat, and combat in this game, because we're not, I should say in this category, in this particular speedrun, we're not upgrading our
so
weapons
raw,
ever.
even
There's
the
no point.
Calamity
It takes too much time and does not save enough to be worth it.
Kid
So
learned
instead,
the
we're just
hard
gonna fight a
way.
whole bunch of
Those
things with not a whole lot of HP
got the core,
and
like
weak
they built a
weapons,
Bastion of their own.
and we're just gonna
The
make do.
welcoming committee
Also, we're gonna use
tremendous
werewolf team
attention.
because we like this
Didn't
strat.
expect the kid so soon.
Like for example, right here. Wow, that guy recovered quickly. All right, we're fine.
The wild
Well, we're not.
drag him down.
Again, chance to carry on.
They shouldn't have
Yes.
let
All good.
We're fine. And now we're gonna go through.
one thing. Getting out's gonna
Yeah,
be
bushes
another.
aren't really
He digs
consequential
his
either.
way out of the clearing, but the wild won't let him go without a fight.
So I guess there's this like entire rest of this level somewhere
After all,
up
he's
there,
got the final
but
core.
whatever.
His journey's over, right? Well, no, it ain't. Not by a long shot.
So yeah, I guess I'm not really explaining about obstacles in this game, but that's because I don't really understand myself.
Kid knows
But
something's up. We ain't
pretty
there to
much
give a warm welcome.
every obstacle in this game is not
Zolf
really
and
all
I
that
was
well
just
put
wrapping
together.
up, he did
Some
his
gates
mission.
are actually impenetrable just because
Zolf
they
barely
are
most of the
like they
world.
put enough invisible
The
walls
Calamity
around them that you
failed,
can't just
he
go
said.
around them.
But
But most gates are not like that. There will be some way that you can clip through them.
Zolf leaves
A lot of the
us
times it turns out that the way that you clip through a gate is actually slower than just opening the gate.
But there's a way to put her back together.
And then of course, in
The
some levels
shards.
we're gonna find walls that are made of multiple
we're
different
gonna need
objects.
all of them to nurse the Bastion.
And we're gonna just be able to clip through those walls by rolling in the gaps between the objects, which is just awesome.
After Zolf's
I'm a
little
big fan.
episode,
I mean,
It's
please don't
amazing.
fix that,
off in
Super
search of
Giant.
shards. First stop, Jawson Bog.
Alright, so Jawson Bog is the hardest level in the run. Absolutely, without question.
Able to guide you back.
If you play this casually, you remember
I
that
let him go.
you try to find the shard and it's kind of sitting in plain sight,
Do.
but then
The shards
you fall
make it
asleep
better.
because I guess this bog is like
Small
really
doses of the core's medicine.
intoxicating, to
Shame
use
the only
Rux's
place
word.
to fill that prescription.
And then you have a whole bunch of
Down here in the
hallucinations, and you
wild.
get attacked by a whole bunch
This
of different
place
monsters.
is
And, you know, you kill
intoxicating.
everything, literally everything, and it takes a long time. Well, I don't really want to kill everything, so I'm going to use Whiskey. That's going to allow me to get some quick kills on a couple particular kinds of monsters. And then I'm going to be able to trigger exits out of areas more quickly. The same kind of thing that I did in the
Somewhere I
Solar Grad.
don't want to go.
So right here we've gotten Whiskey by letting these things that blow up, if they get close to you, do that. And now we have to kill the last stragglers here. One more.
And again, he's avoiding those health potions because if he accidentally touches it, it will heal him to full.
Welcome him with open arms.
Alright, so here we're gonna throw a grenade, kill all four of those dudes. And now I want to kill this dude,
It's a lonesome ghost.
this dude, as quickly as possible. And now Rux is gonna respawn, even though over here there's supposed to be more enemies spawning at this time.
Pleased to make
Because I killed those two gas fellas so quickly, it allowed me to continue. So here there's just a bunch of rolling, and then we're gonna get back into the bar,
pincushions, pineapples.
where, remember earlier we shot Rondi's corpse because we're bad
Sets
people.
foot inside one of
So
Ceylon's
here I need to blow this thing up, not get killed by him,
just gonna have to see.
and then screw that up. So now I'm just gonna heal up.
He has the nerve to flash the shield.
So the idea is I'm supposed to kill that first turret really quick, and then Ronnie will actually spawn early.
Look at what he did.
And that allowed me to continue. I actually managed to get sort of a half fast version. But doing that also enables us to get another glitch that unfortunately I didn't get. But if you die as the transition to this sequence occurs, you can just kind of go sliding along the ground like this.
He sees what's left of the
Now it turns out at this point, because I didn't get the glitch, it's faster to just get up and roll.
He wakes up.
But if you get the glitch, you actually can't get up for a little while.
He sees what's
Oh,
left.
I'm out of thingies. That's bad. Alright, we're good.
His friend. He's coming down.
And now, while this screen is white, you can actually walk to the right and pick up the ore and save about 2 seconds or something. And now we take a nap. Oh, I'm supposed to do
Hey, kid.
something, right? Okay.
Kid, get up.
Come on, that ain't funny. I said get up. Alright,
Thought we
so
lost him, but he finally
all
comes
terrible
to.
jokes aside, now we'll get the shard. And now there's still more combat because Justin Bog is a really, really difficult, lengthy level.
How to find a ticket out of this hole. Ever heard of a
So we're gonna try to get Where Whiskey off of this dude shooting us in the face.
stick that nasty?
Of course we didn't get it, but it's fine.
They say one whiff of lung blossom can make it worse.
Ooh, hello. Please don't go there. Can you please level up? No? Awesome. Alright,
Mother only knows
it's all
what
good.
happened in the bog.
So, you only have to kill that pincushion down there in order. I like how I point at my screen and literally only the people behind me can see. Good job. Good commentary.
A shard is like a portal.
Anyway, so this is, as mentioned, this is the shard collection section of the game. And so now, again, we have to upgrade all our buildings.
We'll be back in
And we're going to go in a particular order, again, for the same reason as described earlier. In order to skip those sections on the Skyway where we would have to wait for Rex to talk, we're going to upgrade starting from the top right, then go to the top left, then the middle right, middle left, bottom right, bottom left. And that allows us to skip that text almost every single time. I think there's going to be one more place where we can't
Many a
skip it.
tale folks used to scare their children straight.
And that log there didn't block him just because he got past it so fast.
They used to think that ankle gators were.
That's another thing that you'll see a few instances of, just him being
got a hold of a shard.
in front of an obstacle
The brushers
before it
used their pikes
spawns.
to keep their distance.
So Rothus Lagoon has my favorite enemy, which is Queen Anne.
Queenie leaves the kid
Queen
with
Anne,
some kind of twisted
if she attacks
trap.
you, which is if you go in the grass, she'll knock you up into the air.
The tall grass.
And man, I said that again.
Bad step. Tall grass.
And you can use that in order to just go flying across the terrain. It's pretty nice.
You use a kid as bait.
But now we're gonna have to kill her. Sorry.
Now she's
We're gonna do
coming.
this using Where Whiskey,
She's got no
pike,
miles to
grenade, pike, musket.
Rest in peace, Queen Anne. That was for the brushers.
Yes, to note about combat, every single weapon has a certain cooldown, so you have to time and know which attacks to use in the right order to get quick kills on enemies.
Is over. We even got a crown jewel.
Yeah, especially the musket. Like most of the ranged weapons have different forms of cooldowns. The Fang Repeater, of course, if you use all the bullets, it has to reload. But the musket, every time you fire, it has a cooldown that you see
in all the city.
in the bottom right of the screen. So now we're at Point Lemaine, which is my favorite level because it's a 3-minute auto-scroller. So,
Know how Ceylon became the richest city.
yeah, pretty much just do donations the whole level.
Point Lemaine. If the wilds could ever be tamed, it was gonna
Also
Alright, I
more
have a $100
Very
donation from
shadows in a
Praetorian that says,
the Grand Rail.
so Vulajin went from being a theater-crafting jerk to crushing awesome games. Go figure. Great game, great run, great
Of course,
cause.
it's no longer shipping hides and alloys and spices. The Army's triggers once had the place on lockdown. But
I have a $35 donation from Ascar that says, thank you for running one of my favorite games. I've been following AGDQ since 3 years, I guess, but I've never donated because I don't have a lot of money. But I'm so happy you run Bastion that I feel obliged to donate. By the way, this game has awesome music, one of the best I've ever heard. Good luck and save the Zolf. I have a question for Vulajin. Do you often run Bastion? What kind of games do you usually run? You'll probably have one more follower on Twitch/Facebook/Twitter.
Take back
Just to answer that question, I guess, this is kind of my main game for the last, like, several months to almost a year now, just because of AGDQ and SGDQ. But I also run Dust and Listening Tale, which you're going to see later tonight, if you're still awake.
So much as one of those things.
And Pokemon Black 1 and White 2, because why not? Everyone needs a little RNG in their life.
Not much with
that angle.
Up there near the rail.
Every one of them.
A good choice.
Of course, the Grand Rails.
This game does have amazing.
Bygone times. It was right here that Zolf's forefathers decided to mix it up.
I have a $20 donation from Sid that says, good form. Thank you for being good sport, Vul. Good luck on your runs. Money towards runner's choice.
Get their sign off on the whole Grand Rail thing.
I have a $10 donation from the kid. It says, hey guys, figured I'd donate during one of my favorite games. And man, remember that time at SGDQ? I'm guessing AGDQ, when we soft locked after picking the wrong ending? That was great.
Ever tried dancing side to side while holding your breath? While
Sadly, Vulajin probably won't be soft locking this time. But
I found one way to soft lock in this category, and I know better than to do it. In fact, I've already prevented myself from doing it.
sad, really.
Uh-oh.
So you're saying
It's
there's
coming
a
up in a
chance.
couple levels, as I recall.
Yeah, it was. Well,
I'm not sure if it's been explained yet, but what you saw back there was a counter, and what it does for range attacks is basically throw the projectile back at the attacker for ridiculous amount of damage. And for melee attackers, it also stuns them if you get a perfect counter, which was pretty important in the early game.
Oops, I fell. Twice.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Turns
What a bad
out
run.
Whoa,
No way.
please.
this is for you, says the man. Then wham.
This is probably not intended. Probably.
When the kid comes to, the man's long gone. But something else is there. Well, what's a kid to do? He took the shard, he took the hit, and he took that note.
I don't remember what level was that. Is that bad?
no, that's fine.
I would think so.
Just roll with it.
A lot of things, don't it?
You'll be fine.
It ain't
I'm sure I'll remember when I get to the Skyway. It'll be good.
place.
We'll be fine.
The memorial may be finished, but our part is far from over.
Oh right, Culford Cauldron.
Oh yeah, good.
So Culford
This
Cauldron is
level.
my favorite level because it is really hard, and most of the other runners of this game are not as good at it as me. So it
Shots
boosts my
fired.
self-esteem to run this level.
Way ahead of its time. The cauldron.
So it starts with this irritating clip that, admittedly, I'm not good at
Fill
either.
the skies with ash.
Because you have to line up very precisely.
It takes a certain stubborn pride to keep on living.
But then mostly what's difficult about this level is that the ground is really hard to read.
Sure, we dusted
It forms
off
up in a
the
very
secrets
awkward way,
we
and
discovered
it's really easy to fall.
better off not knowing.
And fall again.
All sorts of.
And fall again, and then fall some
After
more.
all, when we look down inside.
And while you're
the
falling,
cauldron,
maybe try not to fall, but then fall. It
we
happens.
had to have it.
Like that.
As for the kid.
Except that was just me being bad.
Shard out of
Right
it.
on cue.
Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Johnson Bog.
Though
Biggest
getting
stink
that far
eye's ever
before falling
seen
is
waiting
actually
for
pretty
him
good.
on the other side. Or where there's one stink eye.
Also, random note about melee weapons breaking objects there.
To bid the kid a
For some reason, when you attack
good spyglass.
anything really with a melee weapon, everything that you connect to,
Died out.
from like destructible environmental objects to non-destructible environmental objects and monsters, causes lag frames.
The shard works
Range
like
weapons
a
don't
charm.
have this problem for whatever
In the
reason.
monument's heart.
So, like at the end of that level, there were a bunch of brambles that I wanted to break. But I wanted to break as few of them as possible because I just didn't want to eat the lag frames. Also, Culford Cauldron might be a pretty tough level in terms of the ground forming up, but this is
Can't
probably
break
actually the
tall
worst.
mountains and the mountain anymore.
Or I should say the toughest. I actually really like this level. It's just really challenging.
More mountains.
Is it
Because you
your
can't see
favorite
the
level?
ground.
There's no place left for the beasts of the wild.
Like there.
We only found that little layer because they found
So you just kind of have to go and hope that everything's going to be
But they
okay.
hadn't yet prepared for any company.
Also, we've picked up our final weapon upgrade. This is the Galleon Mortar.
Just put 'em down.
This is a really, really powerful ranged weapon that I think we're going to use
It's
twice.
either them or us.
Because grenades are just so good.
work fixing up the place.
But it's a really nice
We
weapon.
win.
And it will come in very handy in a couple places.
Our Bastion is everybody's game, not just ours. We just really need their shard.
Oh.
We'll all
Oh,
be
my
better
favorite level
off
coming.
once the Bastion is complete.
Shocking.
Is that joke played out yet?
The monument's getting better. Zolf
What
sure
joke?
did a number on it, though. We need an awful big lost and found under the circumstances.
So Burstone Quarry is it's basically combines all the challenging
Imagine
things of
everything
every other
we need
level
to build a city like
in an
Savannah.
annoying kind of combination
It
that
takes hard work and planning.
is probably going to
It
cause
also
me
takes
to
Burstone
screw up at least once or
Quarry.
twice. But that's not a huge deal.
We bought the whole
So we need a couple things to go right here. First, I need to not arbitrarily fall off.
These rocks are
And
source
so
of
far
life.
that's going okay. Second, I need to use the mortar. The mortar actually has a splash damage effect that hurts you if you get hit by it. So you have to be a little careful using it at point blank range. But I'm actually using it at point blank range intentionally because I want to have Were Whiskey by the end of this level, and I do now. So now I have to be a little careful not to take more damage. And we have done that because we need to kill Third Lunky, and wow, that was beautiful.
That was really fast.
Get stubborn
So, Sir
Was that a
Lunky
boss
is
fight?
really dumb. He has a really messed up hitbox that does not make any sense whatsoever. Except at the beginning, when he's just sitting there waiting for you
Then
to
the
show
kid
up.
hears a voice calling from down
At that point, he is normally attackable like from behind, kind of like the other lunkhead enemies that exist in this game. But
hears him, but he ain't about to be deterred.
when you
If that's the way it is,
get in behind him and don't manage to kill him before he jumps,
because my
his hitbox goes completely haywire. Okay, so now we're gonna do a skip. This is my new favorite skip in the game because it saves some ludicrous amount of time, like 30 seconds.
say what you will about Zolf.
Basically,
but
we're
he's a
supposed to
man
do
of
this
his
invasion
word.
here. And we're supposed to fight off all these Ura that are invading the
His
Bastion.
countrymen don't much care for pleasant.
But that's slow. So normally we're supposed to go to the center of the Bastion and die.
They're wrong.
But there's a new strat that we have,
No way out of this.
thanks to a guy named Astifwork, who sent me a PM on Twitch,
Way here
literally the day I was going to leave to SGDQ.
to take revenge.
And he taught me this skip. Look, Ma, no Ura.
Wow.
Nice.
That skips the cutscene and everything.
Yes. So that saves on the order of 30 seconds. Basically, it was such a big skip, and it applies to all categories of this game. It was such a big skip that
protection.
in the hour that I had time to stream before leaving for SGDQ, I tried the skip, found out how to, figured out how to actually do it myself, and then did one run of one category with it and got world record because it's so crazy.
And mother, what a mess it is.
So Resent Gate is a rather frustrating level in terms of ground forming up. Also, we need Were Whiskey here again, and we need it for a really funny reason. Also, walls, please.
Was a simple idea.
So remember that
Far beyond the city.
Were Whiskey increases your crit rate to 100%. But also has another effect, or I should say, it has a less obvious effect in terms of the fact that you're critting all the time. So,
It came from an
if every one of your hits crits, then you're going to kill enemies really fast. What might not be obvious is that you're also going to kill environmental obstacles really fast. And I'm going to take advantage of that very soon.
The Mancers devised a way to seal the Ura tunnel shut in a flash.
One thing that might not be readily apparent if you haven't played the game, but what's going on is you're kind of invading, and it takes place over several days. So that's what's going on with the game flashing every now and then.
Except as a
Yeah.
last resort. But vengeance
This is a really cool level in terms of casual, when you don't just, breeze through everything.
sabotage the Mancers' little science project.
So
Alright,
those,
Blow up in their
Go ahead.
faces.
I was gonna say those things that
The Bastion can fix
the
it.
barriers that Vulajin just stabbed with his pike and got through. You're not actually supposed to be able to pike
Too
through.
bad the Ura ain't exactly the middle of the
It's really the fact that he had Were Whiskey that allowed him to actually get through those with his pike.
God, just die. Oh,
For
yeah,
now,
that
Kid
works.
has little choice but to pick up where the Calamity left
Yeah,
off.
so at the end of this level,
First
we
things
needed the Were
first,
Whiskey in
though.
order to kill all those things
There's
quickly.
something we figured needed rescuing.
Right, what was the next one I was gonna say? Oh yeah, Zoltan's Hollow.
The Ura
So,
fell back.
Resender's Gate is a great level for kind of going faster than you might expect you would be going.
There's something we had to do.
But Zoltan's Hollow is definitely, of all the levels in the game, this is the one that you do the intended thing the lowest percentage of the time. And I'm just gonna let the level speak for itself, because it's hilarious.
Yeah, seriously, just watch.
It's personal for him.
This is probably my favorite level.
What walls?
Wait, are those walls supposed to stop you?
What's keeping the place together?
Optional.
Nah.
I thought we were letting the
Ura
level
must be in
speak
a
for
panic
itself.
right about now.
Oh, right.
They even sick their little rattletail pets on the kid. By now, every Ura from here to the terminals must know he's in town. The Ura keep hanging on.
I healed there because frequently if I keep rolling, the ground won't have formed up. So I just heal real quick to
Yes,
allow
our
the
people
ground some
caused
time.
the calamity, but here we are trying to fix it. As the hour grows desperate.
And
the
let's see if we
Ura
can get
bring
this
out their
awesome
big
link here.
guns.
Probably not gonna happen. Yeah, he didn't follow me. Okay, so there's that Ura there at the very end of the level. He can actually follow you through the gate, even if you clip through it like I did. If he does, he'll just start shooting at you while you're standing there, waiting for the level to
You had to see
unload.
if everything Zolf wrote to you was
And if he
true.
kills you during that point, when I come back to the Bastion here,
Once the kid gets
the
that
screen is
last
just
shot
completely
from
black,
Zolf,
and I have to navigate in
it'll all be
darkness.
over.
So now we're gonna do the Calamity Can Challenge donation incentive. And in case it wasn't aware, in case it wasn't apparent exactly what that means from the description, I'm gonna do this challenge arena with no upgrades on the Calamity Cannon. This is the weapon I think everyone dislikes the most because it's really hard to use, it's really clunky, but with upgrades it's really powerful. I don't have any upgrades, so now it's gonna be a real pain.
This challenge is really difficult even with a fully upgraded cannon.
Yeah, it's not as bad. Without the upgrades, it really stinks. So I'm going to talk a little bit while I go, but I need a little serious time. That is bad. I'm pretty much done. So, in fact, I'm actually, yeah. I want to give you guys a show, so I think this is okay to do.
The Mansers conducted
One of the things that sucks about this challenge is if you fall off the edge, you're done because every single windbag that spawns will immediately charge. So falling there was just really a dumb thing for me to do, but it's all right. So now we'll go for a real attempt. The main things that you have to do here in order to make this actually work
You could
are
cause
that you have
a
to
lot of
lead your
collateral
shots,
damage with her if you get
which is not super challenging. Except when guys like that just arbitrarily juke. And you have to take advantage of the splash damage, which can be challenging because, for example, right there, I aimed to try to get a splash, but missed completely. The splash is based on where on the target your shot hits.
cause with a single shot. Best
So,
stand well clear of that.
Depending on my aim, I might or might not get certain splashes.
She's designed to be fine-tuned. Just need a
Also, sometimes I will intentionally let a dude get closer to the generators because I don't want to get knocked off or take too much damage. Alright, I'm sort of in a bad situation now. I'm really screwed. Ooh, hello. Alright, so I'm probably not going to be able to get first prize. We can probably manage second. How did I hit anything there? Alright, so now we're just gonna blow up the remaining dudes. Third prize.
Yeah, the prize you get is based on how many of those things are left over by the end.
So, that was your donation incentive. You guys made me do
If the
that.
power of the calamity is
I
safe
didn't
in
want to.
Bastion,
It's all your fault.
It's safe in his.
So I'm about to start the last level, so I think now is the time to cut off the bid war for Save versus Leave Zolf.
I can't hear him at all anymore.
I have a feeling I know what
He's
won.
too far away.
Oh, we all know. Deep down in our
But he'll
hearts.
be all right. The Calamity hit the Tazzle terminals hardest of all. You know why Zolf went back there. Zolf must be there all alone.
I've never followed
Just
him.
waiting. All his old friends and
Learning
family.
something new every day.
You know what's funny? Look around. There's not much left to do here in the Bastion, I'm afraid.
So this level has a bunch of different
So why not
sections, and
tell
each
each
one
other
kind of
stories
focuses on
past
different
the time, right?
style of
Who
gameplay.
brings back that shard?
This first one is just
The
kind of
Bastion
basic
will be
movement.
complete.
There isn't really
We'll
any
all be
combat to
gone.
speak of because none of those things have to actually be killed for you to get through. The second area is not just movement, but also platforming,
Oh, we're not gonna
with a
die.
little bit of combat kind of
more
sprinkled
like-
in. So we're gonna get a spirit
of
here
this
called Hopscotch, and
Things will go back to the way they
yeah,
used to be.
I'll let it
This
speak
whole
for itself.
place is a
Me,
living record of the
I can
times
jump.
before the Calamity.
Yay.
You be your old self
So
again.
this is
Think of
slower
the
than
first times
rolling,
that didn't go your way.
and also more cumbersome to use.
You follow
So
me?
here, I'm just gonna fall off a bunch of times because every time I fall off, the game just spawns me way further ahead, and it turns out to be faster than just walking or jumping.
Everything you've ever done.
Now I've got Werewhisky, so I'm
do it
gonna
over.
grenade that guy to death,
And wouldn't that be great?
and now we're gonna try to
There's
take out this
nothing more to
grunt
say.
with a pike thrust, a grenade, and then he's gonna move, and then we're gonna throw another grenade. Oh, hi, how are you doing?
Who am I kidding?
Usually he kind of goes off to the side, but this time he decided to say
There's
hi.
something else.
Get up close and personal.
A
Also,
confession.
more
come I
platforming
know so
because
much
this is a
about the
platformer. Hi guys, I'm playing Super Mario Bros.
I designed
Wow,
the place.
that was
What a
a sick
snipe.
combo.
Yeah, yes.
There's one problem with a place that sets things back to a bygone
All right.
time.
So now we're gonna go to a section that has
So you're probably wondering if the
everyone's
Calamity
favorite
happened
skip
already.
that doesn't exist, the
What's
battering
to
ram
stop it
skip.
from happening again? After
We have worked
Bastion
long and
is
hard
over.
as a community,
The answer
especially
is
Red Buddha, as a community to find out a way to skip the battering ram, which we're gonna get in this section. You'll see why we want to skip it.
If you
but
thought
unfortunately-
hopscotch was slow, just wait.
Yeah. We've never been able to find a way to skip it, so Bible thumb.
You're wondering if there ain't some other way out of this mess. It's all right. I can tell. But why would you even want another way? Unless you wanted to stay here with us.
I like
That gate's been
that
having some
that
problems.
that closed gate closes more
Weight of the
and kind
Calamity.
of clips through itself.
It's on our shoulders.
It's malfunctioning,
Can't just let it go.
and the slide.
Bastion does.
Yeah, so you can't jump
Strictly speaking. If
with the
ever
battering ram.
market
You can't
was
roll
out,
with the battering ram.
we could've
You
been
pretty
there.
much can just walk
We could still.
slowly, although not as slowly as if you
First,
save
we
Zolf,
round up as many folks as we can
but
carry.
pretty slowly.
Of course, that
And you can use attacks, and
No going back.
they're all really slow.
ever.
And
Put
you
that
can
in
heal while
next.
moving. And that's kind of the
Get
nicest
the
thing about the
cores.
battering ram is
And
that
we take off.
instead of having to pause like while moving
way,
in order to
all-
drink a potion, you can just keep going. Which actually makes this entire next section
You know,
pretty
Zolf
much
and his
possible.
countrymen
It would be a little bit
giving up that
ludicrous
shot
otherwise.
without a fight, don't you?
Also, you get that really powerful attack.
Zolf and they're all they
So this
want
entire
now
section is just me trying to use the fewest number of attacks possible to kill everything. Because, you know, these attacks are so slow that
Can't have
the more I
imagined
do,
the city would try to wipe the
the
earth out.
huge amounts of time I'm wasting. But we also have to make sure that we don't die, and
Zolf ain't lost.
the funny thing about the battering ram is not only is it, like, not only are you like a sitting duck if you don't, like, block, but if you do block, you're more of a sitting duck, because it makes you more vulnerable to attacks, which is amazing. Probably the least effective blocking implement of all time.
For Zolf, this ain't a person.
This whole section is just chasing this big Ura around and trying to get to the core, or the shard.
It ain't a-
So finally he leaves it alone, so we're gonna pick it up immediately. And now I need to know whether we're saving or leaving.
One thing's for sure.
We're saving him.
Ura can't
Okay,
be
I
happy
thought so.
that the kid followed Zolf all the way.
969 to 241.
Wow.
Alright. So yeah, you guys donated for me to save Zolf, so we're gonna save Zolf. And now there's gonna be some fields, so I'll just let this section speak for itself.
Ain't much of a fight. Don't you worry, though. Once the Bastion's restored, it'll all be alright. You ain't still thinking about that whole leaving the city thing, are you?
I set my sail, fly, the wind it will take me back to my home, sweet home. Lie on my back, clouds are making way for me. I'm coming home, sweet home. I see your star, you left it burning for me. Mother, I'm here. Eyes open.
Kid's probably dealt with Zolf by now.
Feel your heart.
He reminds me of myself when I was his age. I ever tell you about those days?
By the way, that's 20 seconds slower than leaving him, so thanks.
But it's the right thing to do.
And he also
Right.
didn't need to heal there, obviously.
Hey,
It's
kid.
just the way the game is programmed.
Yeah,
Not a
you
glitch or
effectively
anything.
have infinite health at that point. Actually,
Get up.
as mentioned, the battering ram, using block with the battering ram makes you more vulnerable. If you opt to leave Zolf, and then during that section where you are considered by the game to have infinite health, if you block, you can actually die, which is pretty awesome.
Now, set that shard into the monument there. Then we'll
Alright, so
talk
time is in about
Bastion. It's finally finished.
30 seconds.
Now, there's something I want you to see.
Assuming I don't talk to an NPC, which is likely. I'm sure I'll find a way.
Welcome.
Also,
Bastion.
just as a random thing, at SGDQ there was a bid war for people to choose what ending I would pick here.
Done the heavy lifting.
And you guys asked for me to pick evacuation, and then some stuff happened that we're not going to talk about, and now I'm going to pick evacuation.
Hey, kid.
Just for you guys. Time. Nice, that's pretty good.
You could have undone the calamity itself. But instead, you want to stay in a world like this.
So, just obligatory shoutouts to all the other Bastion
I gotta
speedrunners.
admit, kid.
My friends on the couch here,
I ain't yet put
my
much
friends
thought
in the seats back there,
But carrying
of course my family, all my friends at home watching. I really appreciate it, guys. And my parents, who as always are extremely supportive all the time, for reasons I can't possibly imagine.
wherever.
So thanks a lot. Bye. Although I'll see you in like 2 hours, so whatever.
If anyone's left out there, I sure would like to see the look on their faces when we dock this thing right on their doorstep.